Awesome. So yeah, again, we're casting some of the replays from the Kung Fu Cup number 5. Oh my god, why does everyone think I have a new haircut? This is absolutely insane. Everyone's like, what? New haircut? Wow. No. No. My haircut's been like this. My hair's been like this for 3 weeks. It's insane. My hair's been like this for 3 weeks. You guys just never notice because I have a headset on. My hair's been like this for ages. Aye, aye, aye. Stream, please. Notice my hair more often, please. Come on. Alright guys, welcome to game 1 of this best of 3 between Rogue and GuMiho from the semi-finals of the Kung Fu Cup number 5. To the bottom left hand side, we're starting off with our red Zerg player. This, from Jin Air Green Wings, is of course Rogue. Going up against the blue Terran to the top right hand side from Sidestorm Gaming, GuMiho. Again, how's everyone doing today? Hope you're all having a great Tuesday so far. Hope you're all having a fantastic time. If you are enjoying the stream, don't forget you can hit that follow button to see when we're live again in the future, and of course you can support further by subscribing, donating, cheering, and all the rest of it, and so on. Where, you know, we're going to be working our way back towards 300 subscribers when we do get the chance to stream over the next couple of weeks. I actually get back home 2 weeks today is when I get back home from Austin, so the streams are going to be again a bit irregular for the next couple of weeks, in fairness, and I do completely understand if you're not going to subscribe during this time and all the rest of it. But what I can tell you is that we will still provide you guys with replays, so we're still going to cast. So actually, straight up, because I've been away for a week or so, if you guys are a subscriber, you will get the replays of today's matches in Discord after this stream. So if you're enjoying these matches today, if you want to get your hands on these replays, they will go out to subscribers at the end of the stream. So do check that out. It's one of the greatest things about subscribing, is that you do get the replays. Oh, it's raining outside here in New York. Awesome. So yeah, cool. It's raining. Yeah, apparently it's going to rain today, but the rest of the week's going to be super warm. See, I picked a great day to stay inside and talk about StarCraft, didn't I? I really did. Alright, well, let's do this, guys. GuMiho top right, Rogue bottom left. Sorry, I was a little bit slow on the intro, so yeah, I know I've just been sat here talking about nonsense. And already, I mean, GuMiho on 16-bit, which has an in-base expansion, he's already going for the third CC very quickly off of just the one gas. Obviously a second gas to follow up now, because hey, it's GuMiho, we're probably expecting to see mech play from him. So we got this set up and ready to go. Back moves up, factory is landed on the reactor, and obviously Hellion production can now begin, although a starport just started, so GuMiho is actually kind of out of minerals to start up the Hellions, so that's a little bit interesting. We'll see how that works out. He's just going to start 2 Hellions now. Okay, so they are on the way up in the end. As Rogue, he took the outer base first and now the in-base. I mean, it's always something when you have an in-base expansion map. Generally the Zergs take the outer base first because, well, it's a third base and they're going to take it anyways. You know, they can get their creep forwards, they can deny some information, some vision, for example. The timing of the third base is hidden, and all of those are generally benefits which obviously go a nice little way to helping out in terms of the game. What's up, SC Electric, who comes in for the 2-month resub, says, hey Wardy, love your content and your replays. Thanks so much for the 2-month resub, good to see you coming back, and thank you so much for continuing to support the stream, of course. I really do appreciate the 2-month resub. Marine here, going to nibble its way through this Overlord, so Overlord going to take a little bit of damage right now. Raven on its way out as well for GuMiho, so Raven just on its way up, and you see this armory is coming down as well. So you're getting in towards that sort of stage where, you know, the mech player is going to be able to maybe start up some aggression with the Hellbats and so on. Let's see what the Hellbats can maybe do. I mean, there's no medevac to support this or anything like that, so it's not the most amazing of setups at the moment. As you just see those couple of queens just coming towards the front and getting ready to keep on pressing the creep spread forwards. Rotron from Rogue as well, he's not going to mess around here or anything. I mean, I think everyone knows that GuMiho likes to play mech, so the Rotron is almost always a good way to open up against GuMiho. It's going to keep you safe, it's going to give you the roaches for the mid game, and obviously that combination is generally very very positive. Banshee is on the way out from this starport. We're going to see another couple of factories are currently just building up. A few SCVs on the way out, and we're going to see +1 vehicle weapons also coming down right now for GuMiho, so +1 vehicle weapons coming on through. We just Let's see what's going to come up next. Starport does actually move over to kind of get this reactor going. So reactor's going to start on up, and again a few more Hellions just going to sit here just out the front. And the Raven from GuMiho is going to move on forwards towards the bottom left hand side as well. Banshee gets a shot off onto one of those Zerglings there. Going to see the +1 vehicle weapons. Just going to allow GuMiho to have that stronger army. I wonder if he builds any Cyclones with this, because that really would be where the +1 vehicle weapons could come in and really get a lot done, I suppose. You know, if you have +1 vehicle weapons and Cyclones, they are going to absolutely monster their way through, like a whole, like, so much. Like, they're going to do so much damage, it's actually insane. So keep our eyes out to see if that becomes a thing, as we see a couple of 4s on the way up on these factories still, and, well, otherwise, I mean, another couple of refineries also just coming on down. 2 medevacs currently on the way up as well here for GuMiho, and as those couple of medevacs do pop out, it's just going to bring more units towards the front, and maybe even gives you the kind of the 4-drop potential to kind of get aggressive. So then you can go for the Hellbat and Hellbat kind of 4-drop kind of gameplay. As we do see the +1/+1 missile upgrades on the way through from Rogue. Again, because he knows GuMiho was playing mech, you know, before he even had to scout here. He's been setting up a kind of good anti-mech army, and generally against mech you're going to want to throw that infestation down pretty quickly, because while you do need to kind of push away the 4s and the Hellbats, you don't have that consistent rallying effect that the Bio has, so you can get away with teching up a little bit faster still. And going in towards the Hive is just going to be so important for you. You know, being able to go in towards Hive is going to be so important for getting up some Vipers, but being able to kind of deal with that mech army as it does get a little bit larger later in the game. Now the medevacs are here, and the 4s are probably moving across the map somewhere, and I just can't see them. Apparently I'm currently blind. There they are. So they are coming down to the south side. They're going to drop in towards the natural expansion perhaps in the next couple of moments, but they decide not to. So far this 4-drop actually not doing much at all. Does he want to drop here and try and get a Ravager? He probably could. It's going to take a lot of damage on the 4s. He instead just decides to pull back in general. And so far GuMiho doesn't get a lot done with this initial attack. Very passive game, you can see here with units lost. For 7.5 minutes in, for an Overseer, an Overlord, and 2 Zerglings to have gone down, that's really one of the most passive TvZs you're probably going to see. You see Roaches again coming in now, but he doesn't even stick around with the 4s to kill any of those Roaches. Just wants to keep them nice and healthy, which sort of makes me feel that maybe GuMiho's going to get aggressive in the next, you know, in the very near future. So soon that in fact he doesn't want to have to wait to kind of bring his 4s back home or anything. Cyclone launcher, or rapid fire launch upgrade for the Cyclones is already coming on through. That's different. I don't understand why. What do you want these rapid fire launchers for? Is he just thinking that this might be Mutalisks perhaps? Because he only sees a few Roaches and Ravagers? Does he just think it's going to be something that's going to help him against the Vipers? Maybe it's just the new thing from GuMiho that he thinks is going to work when he's in mech. I guess we'll see just how those Cyclone launchers get used soon. It's going to be hard though, because he doesn't have any Cyclones. Did he start this instead of like Blue Flame or something? Or maybe instead of Smart Servos potentially? I actually don't know what the hotkey is to upgrade this, so it's very possible that maybe he started this instead of like Smart Servos. Because it just doesn't make sense right now. It just doesn't really make sense. Well, Hellions and Siege Tanks here from GuMiho are going to be gathering themselves together and getting ready to go across the map, really. I mean, we're maxed out here as the mech army, plus 2 attacks, about 3 things about to be done. There isn't actually really much more to wait for if you think about it, right? So we are going to see those rocks going to get taken down here in the center, and they are going to push down through the center of the map down towards the bottom left hand side. +2/+2 upgrades coming in from Rogue, as we are going to be having the well, they're not going to be finished I guess for this attack, which is a bit of a shame. He does have his Vipers on the way. He's got 2 up, he's got 1 more on the way through at the moment. You've seen those couple of overlords coming forwards. I'm really excited to see the the rapid fire launches on the complete lack of Cyclones here. Good anti-armor missiles to start up though, and seriousness on the Raven actually means that these Roaches, Ravagers, Hydras that get taken down so quickly. Where on earth are the Vipers? There's one of them here now. Where are the other 2? Well, finally they show up. They've just been trying to get energy. They just weren't quite here in time, and GuMiho's pushing forward without even sieging at the moment. And he's continuing to trade pretty well to the point where even Rogue tries to pull on further back, and as Rogue tries to pull on out of there, he's not going to really have much left over. I mean, he's got reinforcements of Roaches, but now the tanks are sieged in positions where, well, they're getting, you know, these Roaches are going to be running out of choke points into siege tank fire as soon as they spawn. and that generally obviously doesn't bode very well at all. There's a medevac here that might be one of these fours around too. To the left hand side we do see this four, just going huge on the hatchery as well. Here we go, Rogue has to push on forwards, try and make something happen right now. The Cyclone 2 starting to show on up, in fact he's reinforcing with Cyclones in general here. Locks up towards the Viper, which I think is generally the idea as to why he got that rapid fire launch, to get rid of that as much as he could. It is GG, GuMiho takes game. Alright. So, in the top left hand side, our red Terran player is GuMiho. And the bottom right hand side, our blue Zerg is Rogue. Again guys, so this was where there was a bit of drama in the Kung Fu Cup number 5, because they actually started to play on Catalyst without the Chinese casters, and the Chinese casters demanded that they restart. And so they did restart, and some of the casters were not as happy with it, etc. Anyways, with that said, we are going to be going into game number 2 and look to see what's going to happen. To the bottom right side is our blue Zerg player Rogue, going up against the red Terran player GuMiho. Psystorm Gaming from GuMiho, Jinai Green Rings for Rogue in terms of teams, and some TvZ here, game 2 in the semi-finals. Again, it's a GuMiho 1-0 lead in case you just missed game number 1. GuMiho did what GuMiho does. He played mech. He went in towards a setup which was, he plays mech. He went in towards this very standard sort of GuMiho setup. He attacked before Rogue was really well set up to deal with mech, I would say. It's funny because I really thought Rogue was set up for a while, and he had the Vipers out for a while, but I don't know what they were doing. They just weren't there, you know? They just weren't there, so it was kind of a little bit strange, I guess, as we get set up into game 2, though. We'll see if Rogue can improve on his anti-mech play, and see if he can fix this up. Alright, so going into game 2, we're going to see what's going to happen. Again, there's like this drama goes on in this game. Like, I don't know. We're just going to ignore in-game chat because it's a little bit silly. This was something that got brought up, and I don't even know. Anyways, command center coming down on the natural. And you're going to be seeing the factory reactor on the way up. And we're just going to be seeing a second gas coming down as well. And speed coming through as well as we get this going. Again, just getting set up, getting rolling. And let's see what's going to happen with the first few lanes kind of fighting against this Reaper or so. When it goes down, bounces are thrown off over to the side, and we are going to be seeing the Overlords just sat overhead, and again, a couple of Hellions just on the way out for GuMiho, so more Hellions on the way. Starport will drop down here as well for GuMiho, of course. So I'm just going to be seeing the Starport coming up. We're going to see the command center will start walking towards the orbital as well. And again, for the first few minutes of this game, very standard. The big difference from last game, double gas rather than one gas fits, you see, then second gas. So Starport is a lot faster. It's a much more aggressive, you know, there's more aggressive opportunities available here for GuMiho, basically, as we do see these couple of Hellions coming through the center to see just what they can get up to. So a couple of Hellions coming through the center, coming down to the south. Tech lab here from GuMiho is about to finish up, and the Starport will be able to land on towards that tech lab, so it's going to be dropping down here. And again, I mean, Cloak Banshee, a Raven, a few different possibilities as to what this could be, and it is a Cloak Banshee to start things off here for now. I think that was just the Hellions trying to run by, was it? A couple of Hellions getting shut down for just 3 Zerglings. Not the best start from GuMiho. We'll see if he wants to go for some sort of an armory-based follow-up or something like that. It would have, well, it would have been a little bit kind of painful because now he has 2 less Hellbats to work with, but, you know, if he just focuses on the Banshee, doesn't really look to commit with the Hellions or anything, this isn't necessarily all too bad. And I just pressed the start key instead of the Control-Shift-F. We'll learn today, we'll learn. There's a DCO lair currently on the way from Rogue in the main base, so he's just going up into his lair, nice and quick lair actually, and I wonder if with the Rotron coming down there's some sort of Nidus potential here. I think there's definitely some sort of Nidus possibility at the moment, so we'll see if that's going to be a thing. There's another couple of Cyclones on the way up, Banshee on the way out of the main, a second one now that is, and of course the first one already making its way down the left side. Let's see what comes off of the lair. It kind of feels like it's timed out for a Nidus. Honestly, I mean, if you look at it, like, you know, he's going to have the lair, you can start the Nidus, and the Rotron finishes, you start loading the Roaches. Everything jumps in at the same time. He's only got 5, well, he's got 5 Queens as well. It could just be for roach speed though, and I think the extra round of drones really does solidify this idea that it's just for roach speed instead. And so, a couple of overseers getting ready to help deal with this Banshee, which is already causing a little bit of issue at the third base. Although, as the overseer comes in, it'll only find the before being taken down by the triple queen combo at the third. So, we're going to be seeing the armory is just over halfway done right now for GuMiho, and as the roach speed comes up here from Rogue, we are going to be having him sort of getting in towards this position where, you know, the roaches are going to have what they need to move around the map to be aggressive. GuMiho is still trying to be aggressive himself with this Banshee now coming along. I mean, this is his second Banshee. The first, honestly, not really successful, I would say. The second one here, well, you know, maybe he can do something. He's forced a couple of overseers, you know, forced some spore crawlers, sure, but didn't really find great damage. And that's probably why the second Banshee is just sort of sat here AFK in the middle of the map. Not really AFK, just left here on purpose to maybe try and slow down some of the creep. Or just catch roaches that try and maybe move across the map to counter. Either way, he doesn't want to get too aggressive because he knows how easily kind of shut down this Banshee can be. So, I'm not going to try and push his look or anything. Which I kind of like and appreciate that. As you see, these cyclones will knock down these rocks on the left side. Order command coming up on the natural expansion as well, as Hellions are going to run by the third base, but actually these Evo Chambers set up a little bit of a wall-off that you don't usually expect to see here from this. Usually you see wall-offs kind of towards the natural maybe, kind of having a pseudo wall-off on the third base. They just make it a little bit more difficult for those Hellions to kind of suicide into the mineral line even, so Hellions back up the left, and we're going to see 1-1 missile upgrades still coming through here right now for Rogue. A couple of 4s on the way out as well for GuMiho at the moment. So a couple of 4s coming through, there's a couple of depots come down, this Banshee still just sat overhead. The Cloak's going to see the Hellions morphing into Hellbats. And again, the third order command is just going to set up and get ready to go. Oh, we are dropping frames. Hello, I think we're back. No. Hello. Hey guys. Alright, I think we're back, guys. Apologies for that. Yeah, a couple of internet issues here. Again, we were not expecting this to be perfect or anything, so that's completely expected. Let's just jump back into GuMiho Rogue. We were just in this right now. I'm not sure where you saw the lag out, but I don't think you really missed anything in the last minute or so before I realized something was going on. So I did pause it, so you guys should be still pretty on point with where we were at. So yeah, a couple more factories just on the way up here from GuMiho, and he's continuing to set up into this mech play. While obviously from Rogue, he's got +1/+1 upgrades coming through. In general, Rogue just setting up nicely, similar to the last game. This time though, Infestation Pit is down, hasn't started the hive yet, and that's because he's waiting for these swarm hosts to start up. So he is going to start going in towards these swarm hosts. There's going to be a little bit of a difference here for Rogue. So changing things up a little bit. 11 swarm hosts coming on the way out of the 4-drop. Last game didn't really do a lot from GuMiho, but it turned out to be okay. Those roaches actually can't reach the force from there apparently, as they are going to get lifted up and brought up to the upper right hand side. You know, some cyclones coming through the center, getting rid of a couple of creatures at least, getting a little bit more damage done. So again, the swarm host is going to be finishing up shortly, and we're going to be seeing the 1/1 upgrades from Rogue continue to come on through. A couple of 4s off over the right hand side to try and see just what they can get up to as well, still as these roaches still just maneuvering around. I mean, it's really down to these swarm hosts. Let's see what they can get up to in the next couple of moments as it starts the +2 missile attacks. And as they get onto the map, they're looking for their first opportunity to drop some locus down as the Rogue counter-attacking third base doesn't really do anything just yet. As well, actually these 4s dropping back down. We are going to see those roaches getting absolutely destroyed. So we're going to drop the locus just here for now. I don't really like it. Doesn't really kind of help them defend at all. doesn't really get him to do anything over here. I mean, it takes him so long to kind of fly forwards in this position. Eventually they drop down in the Hellion, so he gets a couple of kills, but really not that much. And he's going to actually stagger his waves of Locust to keep on pushing forwards. I really don't like this actually from Rogue. I feel as though this is really not pretty at all. As you can see a couple of closer bars coming down. Liberator does fall. Banshee trying to bounce back just a little bit here. Noticing how those couple of queens are. Right, I'll down the Banshee as well, as Roach and Ravs coming in as well. Continue to push their way against those Hellbats. So Hellbats taking some more damage, continue to drop down. We're just going to be having the Hellions actually from GuMiho keep on pushing forwards to fight this, but I don't like it when there's a wave of Locusts here. The Hellions actually went down, which meant the Locusts did a lot of damage to tanks, etc. In fact, these Roaches obviously trade very well as well at the moment, and now 4s are going down, the tank count is continuing to drop. And this is starting to look really problematic here for GuMiho. I mean, yes, he cleans this up, but man, these are like non-expensive Roaches trading now for 4s and tanks, and having that mech army reset when Rogue is just building up to go again. He still has these Swarmers to help him push on through. It gives him a lot of momentum with the first push of the Roaches, because the Locusts are the ones taking damage, not the Roaches. Obviously goes a long way, so let's see how this goes. The Locusts get popped. This time it's all the Locusts at once. The Roaches are coming around the right hand side. He's getting in a position that will enable him to fight this army properly. +2's just finished up. There is now Blue Flame as well to help out with these Locusts, but I think again it just gives the Roaches enough time to get in position to get on top of the army and to start trading out, right? Because by the time those Locusts are gone, well, these Roaches are still in very good numbers, and there's no tanks there, there's no Hellbat, there's nothing. There is just nothing. There's one Banshee is not going to save the day. GuMiho very much so knows that. GG. Rogue takes game number 2 of the kill 4-player map. It's too big. I mean, who even knows? Who even knows? Alright, so let's do this. Sorry, I was just getting something set up there. Now I'm just gonna get my Twitch chat back on my phone. Aye. Alright. So let's get Twitch chat back. Put that over there. And let's see how it goes. The bottom left hand side, our red Terran player from Sidestorm Gaming is GuMiho. And the top left hand side, our blue Zerg player is Rogue. So is this the part where Naruto got banned from casting the tournament? That's so funny. Oh, there was some real drama with as you saw in the last game, TvZ. Basically, there was a regame, and Naruto was like, "I don't think that should happen," and then they got into a bit of an argument, and it was just a little bit silly, It was just a little bit silly. Anyways, we get this set up, and gonna see what's going on. Bad screen. Bad screen? No, the screen's good, I think, is it? Is there any issues, guys? What does bad screen mean? I don't think there's any issues on the screen. Anyways, we set up into this and look to see how game 3 will go between Rogue and GuMiho. Some TvZ continuing on now. Decide a match. Show a StarCraft window. StarCraft's on. Maybe StarCraft is on, I double checked. It should be all good. I think if we're in the wrong screen, a lot more people would be shouting at me right now. Wardy, why can you never put the right screen on? Why are you so useless? Anyways, we go into this and we obviously we're just on Darkness Sanctuary, so our Zergs are back to having to send one of their overlords one way, the other, and eventually hoping they do get in position to scout their opponents out. So, yeah, go into this and see how this goes down. We do see the factory coming up. We're going to see the reactor coming down as well for GuMiho, and we're just going to be seeing a few more drones building as well. Third hatchery coming down from Rogue. So yeah, I mean, TvZ, early game has become a little bit very generic, I suppose, lately. Double gas from GuMiho is again different to that first game, but similar to the second game. Excuse me. As we continue to set into this, so yeah, looking to see kind of where we go from here. Is We'll just have that third CC on the way up, and GuMiho has actually even got that factory ready to land down onto the reactor, so if he can land that reactor down, he can get a couple of Hellions on the way, perhaps as Barracks moves off to the side. A few more drones just going to be on the way up as well. Starport starts up, and again, for now, not really a lot to talk about. I mean, I guess we could talk a lot about Darkness Sanctuary. He actually just kills off this rock tower, which knocks this set of rocks down. In general, these players should be more kind of accustomed to Darkness Sanctuary than the others. Excuse me, than others. Oh my god, why am I dying? Oh my god. For some reason it feels like something was on the back of my throat. Apologies. Hopefully we're a bit better now. Oh, wow, I really just died. I was just saying that the Koreans obviously going to be a little bit more kind of used to Darkness Entry because, you know, they probably had to play it for GSL or at least practice it a little bit for GSL as well. As we do just have the couple of Cyclones and Hellions just sat on this ramp here for now. Again, early Cyclones out of GuMiho, if an armory coming up, this definitely could look towards like a Hellbat Cyclone attack. And this is the sort of build which Rotron really does work wonders against here in these early stages, so there's going to be seeing the Rotron dropping. That's obviously going to go a long way to help him out of it. The second factory and the third factory coming down too. Did that Overlord see the factories? He did. So he sees the factories, and GuMiho, Rogue very much so knows what's going on. He knows it's CC, he knows it's mech, and of course now he can just start setting up a few units to defend against the these early game units of GuMiho, which for now though aren't actually doing all too much. He does know where his opponent is, he knows him, he's top left. And he is looking for the Viking to get a couple more overlord kills, but the Queens are themselves on the hunt for a Viking. And this Viking is going to start getting targeted down, and is going to get pushed away down the left hand side. So Viking gets shut down here, as these Hellions of GuMiho continue to come on forwards, coming up through the centre. Hellions just continue to run all over the place at the moment, so Hellions coming up top, again that rock tower knocked down means that you actually can't run into this third. So the third base comes in very easily here for yourself. You can see a scan coming down and a quick cumulative you get picked away at. Roach is coming forwards, obviously these Hellions are not morphing into Hellbats or anything. And the fours on the way up, Starport can start the Medivacs too, and this lines up nicely to maybe bring the fours across for an attack as well. And with that said, the Hellions do find their way into the third base, and they will start to get quite some damage done. So the Hellions pick their way through a lot of these drones. Meanwhile, some SCVs are going down to a link counter attack on the third base of GuMiho. He did knock down this rock tower, and actually, I guess, and there's also this factor of this kind of left-hand side pathway, which will connect the bases here of the players. As GuMiho decided not to go in this direction, but instead take this base instead. It kind of expands towards the Zerg, which is very common for a Terran player to do. But again, it does have this opening, which is very powerful for the Zerg to abuse for now with run-bys, etc. Until GuMiho gets some proper defenses set up and in position. I don't know what just happened, but my voice is still sort of dying a little bit. I'm just like, try and fight on, Wardy, you can do it. Game sounds a little loud compared to me. Yeah, that might just be because of my recent endeavours with myself almost dying. I just turned it down a little bit, guys. Let me know if it needs to go down a little bit more. Definitely don't mind fixing things a little bit to help out here today. Again, well, it's one of those streams where we just sort of fix it as we go. Roaches and Ravages coming down to the south. A couple of fours scanning to get rid of some tumors here. And again, Rogue is actually set up quite aggressively. A lot of Roach Ravager going to push in the next few moments. And what actually is there to defend? He's not in Hellbat mode just yet. They'll swap now, but corrosive bars in the centre of them. Does get a couple of connections because there's still more of an in at the moment. So we see these Roaches and Ravagers just going to keep on pushing forwards here and just going to be continue to do some more damage. Medivac's lifting up these fours, and we're just going to be seeing these Roaches getting rid of another couple of SCVs. This four also taking some damage. Does end up going down here as a tank firing away, and just going to be seeing the Roaches and the Ravagers are going to keep on pushing on forwards. Each tank goes down. We're just going to be seeing Rogue still gathering himself up together here of these fusions, but I think he's already done what he needs to do, which is to kind of shut down the third base from mining for a moment or two. So he shuts down that third base, and we're just going to see the Roach and Ravagers still just pressing forwards here. Supply depot gets picked off. Roaches and Lings still pushing in from Rogue. Making its way through GuMiho's army here just now and then as those two fours lift up, and just just trying to see what he can do. The Roaches come back towards the third base though, and making their way through the refinery. Another few SCVs going down, and honestly, just looks as though we're going to be in this position now where Rogue, he definitely holds a lead in this game. I think he's definitely in this sort of in this advantageous position at the moment, as we do see the burrow on the way up and the tunnel and close on the way through. Guys, I'm seeing a lot of people saying that he has StarCraft, but it looks like we're on a break screen. Pause and unpause, refresh the stream. The stream is 100% putting out StarCraft right now. For whatever reason, the Twitch stream kind of lagged out on the video for some reason on the break screen, but we're definitely in game. So if you're just seeing the break screen, just pause and unpause. It'll get fixed right away. We are in game as we speak. A couple of fours are fighting their way through this third hatchery here as well. So I mean, GuMiho's on the counter attack to try and get something done. It will buy some time as they lift up and continue back down the left hand side as well. 11 Swarm Hosts currently on the way out. I mean, this is one of the things that won Rogue the game on Catalyst. The Swarm Host play, I mean, he wasn't even in the lead on Catalyst. It was just the Swarm Host started to trade so well alongside the Roaches. Made life very difficult for GuMiho. Now that GuMiho's already behind, I am in a little bit of concern for GuMiho, because Rogue's just going to have, you know, those Swarm Hosts to trade again, and it's just going to keep him in the lead, I feel. Another few Swarm Hosts on the way, so Rogue really committing heavily into these right now, as we see the Force still doing what they can, picks off another Overlord off to the left. Swarm Hosts coming forwards. This is actually a bad position for them, because they may be forced to use their Locust, but there's the Roaches. They'll lose one of these Swarm Hosts, which is a nice pick-off from GuMiho. That's the sort of pick-offs he needs to start turning this game around. Otherwise, that would be a little bit of a pain. So we've seen the Force is going to be poking their way through those Overlords once again. Bionic Giblet in the chat asks, 2-4 drop is cool, but why not 3? Because it just takes, 4s take a very long time to build, so you just need to get siege tanks up basically. If you continue to build 4s, 4s are nowhere near as good as the siege tanks you would get out in the same amount of time, so it's just that siege tanks are just so necessary to the army, and you would get enough of them out in general. And this is troubling though. You gotta say, GuMiho is still only on the 2 bases after that third base was denied before. Roaches, Rabgil, Swarm Hosts as well, still gathering up. So maybe seeing those few medevacs going to come on over to the left hand side here, the few Vikings of GuMiho moving forwards just a little bit. Sieging up once again here, as you still see those Swarm Hosts in the center. You're going to see these Locusts going to start moving forwards as well. You see these couple of Vikings just going to be firing their way through here. You can see these Locusts dropping on down as well. Hellbats don't have Buflame yet, but still diving into a group of Hellbats. Splash damage in the Locust is going to be pretty for the Locust. You do lose them pretty quickly there as the scan comes in to clean out that Zergling. We're just going to be seeing again the Rock Tower going to get collapsed. I'm just going to see GuMiho continue to move around with these few well, 4s. I mean, see, he built a few more 4s now, and I think that's just because later in the game he maybe expected a meter switch or so. Again, once you have a few tanks up, you can definitely work with it. So now we are seeing the quad 4 drop, but they're doing some damage here and there. It's definitely buying GuMiho time. It's definitely keeping him in the game. As he retakes his third base now, he's actually going to be able to get mine here again. He needs these gases though. Rogue still maxed out, another wave of low, because even if they don't do that much, even just killing 1 tank here, 2 tanks, you tank in a 4 maybe, just gets the 4 at the end. It's just damage that GuMiho is really going to struggle to recover, and of course it doesn't cost Rogue anything, because it's Swarm Hosts, they're Locust, they're just on a cooldown. These 3 units right now, 4-hour Zerg play, are working absolute wonders once again, as these medevacs going to come back through the center of the map. Groove Spartan's currently on the way up here as well, from Rogue. Roaches and Rob just gathering up and moving forwards, getting rid of a Hellbat and a couple close bars coming down, and just going to be seeing these few medevacs on the left side as well, pulling back up in towards this 4th base. Target down this hatchery, so we'll be able to get rid of this in the next few moments. Maybe just gets it there with the 4. He ends the sort of move he needs right now, but I just don't know if GuMiho's economy is even good enough to just deal with how much these Locusts are killing every single time. It's kind of crazy. Smart Servo is now on the way up alongside the Blue Flame. Kind of makes me feel like the rapid fire launches we saw in that earlier game were a bit more kind of focused, or maybe was meant to be Smart Servos instead. I still can't really decide, because it kind of seemed like a cool way to deal with Vipers, but then again, so are Vikings, you know? pushes Rogue off of this base here. GuMiho is still competitive right now. I mean, I guess that's the power of the Swarm Post being on cooldown. It gives GuMiho this pushing potential. Force on the top right-hand side is starting to work their way through the Spine Crawlers, and yet another base of Rogue. He's going to be down to 3 bases of his own, but this base is actually rebuilding, so suddenly Rogue is on 2 bases. Wait, what on earth is happening in this game? What on earth is going on? This hatchery is going to get retaken. 9 drones have gone down. All the command will go down, so GuMiho loses his own 3rd base. His SCV is in trouble. This counterattack, great way to get something done here. Drones of Bars coming down, and he will just back away because those tanks have to siege to fight this army. And so GuMiho is very immobile. Force coming back in, so another dead hatchery, and Rogue again on just 2 bases. As we do see GuMiho attack 2 4s, going to try and defend at the moment. Rogue is going to push on up. Is there a way GuMiho makes this work? He's just a little bit slow for the rest of his army to come in and help with this. And the thing is, he has to keep building 4s where tanks would be better, because I think he's still afraid of the potential Mutalisk switch, which would just kill him if he didn't have enough kind of going on right here. So Roach and Rav just pulling back, and you see these Locusts getting ready to come forwards once again now. Diving on down already, those tanks. Oh, 4, sorry, taking some damage. 13 SCVs going down. We didn't see a couple of Hydras working their way through this barracks here. You see a watchtower in the center as well, as these low swarmers go all the way up towards the upper left side. A couple of 4s do lift back up into the medevacs, and again that barracks is going to be taken down. Again, a couple of these drones just continuing on. 3rd hatchery, rebuilding this hatchery too, and this hatch as well. Thing is, Rogue is still maxed out, and if he gets those hatcheries up just for a few moments, and he still has a bank too, I mean, Rogue is just going to be able to keep on rebuilding, and GuMiho is not, and GuMiho does not have a big enough army to maybe make something happen still. So coming forwards here, looks as though GuMiho is, well, he's going to push in, he's going to try for it, but I just don't think he's really going to find what he needs to. A scan comes down, he gets rid of a couple of creeps in, Vikings getting rid of some of these Locusts as well. And it looks as though this is pretty much going to be the fight to end it here, as actually as the Locusts just dive on in. GG's, and Rogue takes game number 3 of this.